Well, today's the day that this big dead tree is coming down. This tree behind me is a pretty dead tree, as you can see. It's been dead for quite a while now, so it's time to cut this down and turn it into firewood. This is a tree that Cara mentioned in a recent homestead tour that is dead and needs to come down. As you can see, there's several branches that are extremely dead, completely dead, have been falling down. So, somewhat of a safety concern with branches falling down during windstorms and everything, or just randomly. And the tops of it seem to kind of still be intact, but I'll show you the bottom of the tree. It's pretty well rotted on the bottom. This is a good sized tree. I'll put a tape on it to measure, but every bit of probably 3 feet wide at the base. It has like a solid split near the bottom here that will kind of have some weight pulling off to this side, so we'll have to watch that. But overall, it's leaning the direction I want to lean. It's leaning towards us in the field here, so I think I should be able to cut it down, no problem. Here's the other side of the tree. We can look at what we got going on here. It's pretty well rotted in the middle, as you can see. So definitely a big tree, and should be able to take it down, no problem, as I said, but is a little concerning given the size and how dead it is. Like I said, it looks like it's most of the weight's kind of just centered up here. We do have this branch going off, that's dead, so it's probably going to want to fall a little bit that way, but generally it's leaning towards the field like we want it. See from this side, if I can get this on, you see from this side it's leaning a little bit towards the field. So that's exactly how we want to fall it. So that shouldn't be a problem. So given the size of the tree and the fact that it's mostly dead, I do have a piece of equipment I'm going to use to help me to make this process a little safer. So trying to get a good size on this tree. It's every bit of 3 feet up here, about chest height. So pretty good tree. I'm Ryan, by the way, Cara's husband, typically in the background of some of these videos. So let's go get this piece of equipment that I'm talking about, and then we'll get it set up and cut this tree down as safe as we can. So here's the piece of equipment I was talking about. It's a telehandler. Got these big forks on it with an extending boom there. I think it can extend out to about 44 feet as the model number suggests there. So plan on getting this on the back side of the tree, and this will help push on the tree as I'm cutting. Just ensure the tree's not going to fall back the wrong way. And then once I get it cut enough, I may just try to push it over the rest of the way with this. We'll see how that goes. Well, wasn't able to move those just by my hand. They're pretty heavy. I'll have to get a crowbar or something. Well, I can't quite reach from where I am, so I gotta clear all this brushy stuff out. I think there's just one block foundation I need to move. The rest of these should be good. Got barely touching this small tree, so I need another several feet. Just get a skid loader and clear that out, and then we'll pull it up more. that took, I had to clear out a good amount more with the skid loader to get close enough to reach. So hopefully it has enough push to push this tree down. I'm gonna go cut some of the vines up just so they don't get tangled up in the telehandler, and then we can get the telehandler in place and then cut on this big tree.
Wow, that was a huge tree. The kids and I were filming and watching from a distance, and this tree is really massive. It looks even bigger on the ground than it did up when you were standing next to this tree trunk. If I put my hand right here next to it, you can just kind of get a scale. It's big.
That's the biggest tree I've ever cut.
I think it may have to be used for more than just firewood, because I don't know, it's pretty cool.
Well, I'm relieved that's down. That was a big tree. The tree wasn't as dead as what we thought, so I wasn't as concerned about cutting down the tree from a dead tree aspect, but it was very large. My saw wasn't quite long enough to reach from either end. I have a 24-inch bar on my saw, and this was a good 30-foot wide tree, 36-inch wide tree. So this is what we got here. Have some lessons to learn here a little bit. So this was my back cut over here. Took a wedge out and then started cutting over here. And as you can see, I started cutting about the right level, but for some reason I just dove way down. So I ended up with a higher piece right there than on this side. Ideally, I'd want that all the way level there. So dove down there, so that side grabbed a little more. The tree fell that direction a little more than what I had planned, but it wasn't a big deal. And it took a while to get the telehandler in place, get positioned, get close enough. I had to clear out a good amount of brush here just to get up to here, remove some of these old foundation blocks just to get close enough. It ended up working out pretty well. I was able to cut far enough, and then I pushed on at one point and couldn't push it over, and then cut some more, and then ended up pushing it over. So it was nice having this available to use. Just gave me a little assurance that the tree wasn't gonna fall the wrong direction on me or something. One thing I was kind of concerned with when I was pushing on the tree was that the tree would catch on one of these forks here, and it ended up doing that. So I was pushing this direction, and the tree did fall a little further that way than what I had planned. So it did kind of catch on that fork. It was able to just roll off fine. But that was something I was a little concerned with when I was pushing on it. Just making sure I pushed out far enough that it wouldn't get caught and tip the machine or something. The tree was falling pretty good anyway, so it would have just rolled off the fork. And it did just roll off the fork. But overall successful here. That's probably the biggest tree I've ever taken down. And now I got a lot of cleanup work to do. So some of the sections of wood are really nice looking. Like look at this graining here. Looks really nice. I'm not sure, it's an oak of some kind. I'm not sure what kind of oak. But look at it over here. Some really unique designs here. Maybe given that, I don't know, that has to do with the way it rotted, perhaps, I don't know. But Cara was saying we should grab some of these pieces and do something with it other than just firewood, so we'll see. Yeah, we're about 3 foot across here, so we'll have plenty of firewood and or slabs of wood, something. So the middle's rotten, of course, but still pretty good. Really the part that rotted was just this interior swoop here. Initially I was thinking that rotten portion came around and was more in the interior here, but it wasn't, so. So I'm glad that part of the project is over. Now we just need to cut everything up and split some firewood here, so. Thanks for watching, y'all. Have a good one.